I was gonna like do a counting number song. Can you tell that I've been doing a lot of math homeschool? Abraham, I'm gonna do a proud mom brag, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but there you go. Abraham Bubagoo is officially in 3rd grade now, and like being a whiz at it. I am so impressed. He's in 1st grade. As a reference point, I'm so proud of him. We wouldn't have discovered he was this good at it without like doing our homeschool, because he's really gotten individualized attention from mama. But it's just fascinating to see. But a point being, I was going to count 5. Ooh, I won't do the number song. Don't worry. 5 reasons not to travel with children. If you are considering being a digital nomad, a travel guru, boy, I want to be a travel guru. I don't think I'm wrong. Maybe one day I can dream big. I'm gonna dream. That's what I tell my kids. I'll dream big. Or you are just thinking about regularly wanting to travel. Here are 5 reasons not to. Now I say that with the asterisk of I love traveling with my kids. Let me phrase that. I love being somewhere with my children. That's new and fun. But I feel like it's not all sunshine and roses. Maybe it's sunshine and daisies. Okay, maybe that pun didn't even work. I'm hoping it did. But if we're going to be honest, 1, airline seats suck totally and utterly. They keep getting smaller, and the more children you're flying with, the more seats you're going to have to buy, and they're going to end up kicking you. Whole flight, it's just going to happen. You can't fit people in seats anymore. It's crazy. I don't know what airlines are doing, but yeah, seats are super uncomfortable, and the more kids you sit with, you're just going to be sat on and jumped on and crawled over if you have a toddler like I do. So it's super uncomfortable physically to travel with small children. It just is. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I have tried buying those little foot slings that hold your feet, travel pillows, blankets. I've tried all the stuff. It's just physically really uncomfortable to travel with kids. You know, if you are traveling solo, maybe you can buy 2 seats at least, or you can get a business class seat. That's not going to be happening most likely for most people's budgets if you are traveling with kids, because you're going to have to fork out money for their ticket, which is reason number 2. It's expensive. Kids, way more than double for each child you bring costs. And hear me out for why, because I know some people are going to be like, that's not true. I can travel on a super good budget with children. Absolutely. But let me give you my experience. So I've been traveling for a long time for work, because I film my travel content for here on YouTube and for Instagram, and I film content for my burlesque Patreon page, and I go to locations for that. So I've been traveling since before my daughter was born, obviously, with my son, because he comes along with me for work, because I don't want to leave him for several weeks with, somebody. And we were able to travel on such a smaller budget. Sorry, biscuits. I've been coughing. It's allergy season. We were able to travel on such a smaller budget when it was just 2 of us, because 1, you're buying less tickets, right? Like when he was really little, I could just get away with buying just me a ticket, but now I have to buy 3 tickets when I travel. 2, a lot of places that are going to be like cheap Airbnbs or cheap vacation rentals or cheap hotels are going to have like a max 2-person limit, sometimes a maximum 1-person limit. So when you're bringing kids along, you're going to just automatically have to pay more for lodging and for travel. So it just gets more expensive, and it's not like it's going to be double this and double that. It just kind of adds up pretty quickly. And what I have found, and this is like maybe personal for our family, is that now with both kids coming along, they really need like a little bit of space to be able to go do things and play, while I like do my digital nomad working on my computer, right? So we have to kind of get a place that has enough space, maybe a little yard, or use something safe for kids to get out their energy, knowing that I'm going to be working on this trip, right? So it definitely adds expense in ways that maybe you don't at first see. Like the airline ticket, that's an obvious one to see, but lodging, rental cars, if you're going to pay for public transport tickets, train tickets, all those things, they add up in surprising ways, and how you travel is going to change. So that's number 3, the reason. You're going to travel really differently. Now, this can be a big negative for a lot of people. I know people that have put off having kids because they love travel, and they don't want to try to figure out how to travel with kids, because traveling with kids is totally going to change how you travel. It just does. You can't be quite as spontaneous. You are naturally going to get less done while you're traveling if you're traveling for work. And if you're traveling for just fun, you're just not going to see as much every day as you normally would. So you either have to lengthen your trip or you have to cut short what you're planning to see or do. So it just inherently changes the style of how you're traveling. And that could be a super big downer for people. That can really stop. I know people that will not travel with their children unless they absolutely have to. Like, they're literally waiting until the kids leave the house to travel because they so don't want to change the style of travel. That takes us to number 4. Where you can go is probably going to be different when you bring kids along than if you go solo. So you're going to be more worried about safety. You're going to be less interested in adventurous trips when you travel with kids. This is just the nature of it. People can argue this. I'm sure there are people that are like, I take my kids on 40-mile marathon trips and, we crawl under falling glaciers. I doubt it. I doubt that's true. So you're just going to really have to change your attitude on where you're wanting to travel to. And maybe there's places that are on your bucket list, which is a silly term, but whatever. On your bucket list, and you just can't go there with kids. It's just a location that does not mesh with your family style, with your kids' personalities. It just doesn't work to bring kids. And so sometimes you just have to drop places that you really wanted to go because you just can't do it with kids. And 5, kids will not appreciate that you've taken them there in the moment. There will be 1,000 times while you are traveling with children where they do not care. They would much rather be eating a white piece of bread with mayonnaise and watching a cartoon at home. Why have you taken them to this hellhole that is a tropical paradise or a historical landmark? Why would they want to be there? They will not be grateful. And I know that really hurts parents' feelings. Parents that won't take their kids to Disneyland because their kids won't appreciate it or remember it. Kids will remember it. They just won't appreciate it. And again, it's expectations. Do you expect your kids in the moment when they're little to be aware that they're appreciative of it? No, they just can't be. Kids are just not that aware. It just doesn't work for how their minds work. So you just kind of have to accept, oh, okay, they are not going to appreciate the travel. And so those are 5 reasons not to travel with children. In case you're thinking, should I? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, should I do 5 reasons to travel with kids? Because I have more than 5 reasons to travel with kids. Because I love traveling. I love traveling as a family. I love seeing new places, going to new adventures. I love being our fabulous digital nomad, which we haven't gotten to be in the last 2 years. And I'm sure any of you biscuits that have followed along for quite a while on this channel know, boy, the channel, just had a different vibe, I guess, the last 2 years. Because we just haven't really been able to go a lot of places. And increasingly, I'm looking to spend, really quality family time together, slow down. And so that's going to affect how we travel. I don't think we'll travel the way we used to in that style because we really just want to have genuine experiences together as a family now. And that's something that not traveling for 2 years has really made all of us appreciate more, I feel, is that we want to be happy together in slow moments, and that it's also affecting kind of my list of 5 reasons not to travel with kids, because maybe those 5 reasons make travel not worth it for you, or maybe you're like, oh no, I like to take on a challenge. You're going to strap on your little backpack, a little tiny backpack for your kids, maybe like a little baby backpack. Those are adorable. One of my nephews had a little tiny toddler backpack. It was like a little camping backpack. It was adorable. And you're going to be like, I'm going to go see the world. Because you know what we have learned over the last couple of years is that nothing is assured, nothing's promised. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring. And to have beautiful memories together of travel and seeing things is such a powerful way to bond your family. So let me know in the comments which of the 5 reasons to not travel with kids pings the most. Even if you love traveling with your family, is there one of those that you hear and you go, oh yeah, I can really relate to that. I'm going to see you over on Instagram and my second homemaker channel in between this video and the next.